Dear young brothers and sisters of the new generation of Hindustan, most warm welcome to today's episode about the true history of our great nation Hindustan and Hindu Dharma. In the previous episodes, we have seen what exactly is the definition of Hindustan, who is a Hindu, and what is Hindu Dharma, or the most important differences between Hindu Dharma and all other philosophies existed and existing all over the rest of the world. So as I have mentioned in the last episode, today we will start verifying, understanding, or at least try to know the opinion of most famous and important scholars, thinkers, and philosophers of the world about our nation Hindustan. It is very important to understand, at least to have a basic idea of what others have said about the nobility of our great nation. So let us see one by one those affirmations by various scholars. In the next couple of episodes also, we will go on these tracks to verify the affirmations of prominent scholars. So let us start understanding one by one what are those opinions or statements. So here we have the affirmation of an American author, Mark Twain, about Hindustan. He says, India is the cradle of the human race, the birthplace of human speech, the mother of history, the grandmother of legend, and the great-grandmother of tradition. Our most valuable and most instructive materials in the history of man are treasured up in India only. See, there is no other nation in comparison to this affirmation. Again, by Albert Einstein, the great scientist. He says, we owe a lot to the Indians who taught us how to count, without which no worthwhile scientific discovery could have been made. Einstein here mentions about the discovery of the value of zero, but as you know, most of the basic scientific and technical inventions were performed or discovered by our acharyas, while the rest of the world was in absolute darkness. So this we have to remember. The reason why those inventions and scientific discoveries of our acharyas were not known to the rest of the world is that the first central government which came into existence after 1947 had declared that Sanskrit is a dead language. Who is going to discover or explore in the scientific and technical documentations which are recorded in a dead language? And that was the reason. So let us see what are the other affirmations by other scholars. Here we have the affirmation of a German scholar, Max Müller. You might have heard about it. He's a famous philosopher and an author and a scholar. He says, if I were asked under what sky the human mind has most fully developed, some of its choicest gifts has most deeply pondered on the greatest problems of life and has found solutions, I should point to India. Again, a French scholar, Romain Rolland, says, if there is one place on the face of the earth where all the dreams of living men have found a home from the very earliest days when man began the dream of existence, it is India. Okay? Again, here is an affirmation by the Chinese ambassador to USA. His name was Hu Xing. He was the former Chinese ambassador to USA, and he says, India conquered and dominated China culturally for 20 centuries without ever having to send a single soldier across her border. Okay? See what a beautiful affirmation. Again, Henry David Thoreau, he's an American thinker and author, and he says a very faithful affirmation about our Vedas. Whenever I have read any part of the Vedas, I have felt that some unearthly and unknown light illuminated me. In the great teaching of Vedas, there is no touch of sectarianism. It is of all ages, climes, and nationalities, and is the royal road for the attainment of the great knowledge. When I read it, I felt that I was under the spangled heavens of a summer night. See how beautiful these affirmations about our great nation. I don't know how many of you have explored in these fields. Anyway, even if some of you have already explored or might have seen such affirmations and know the true history of our nation, I'm quite sure, it's from my experience in interacting with many of the young generation, that they don't know. So let us continue this exploration, as I have already mentioned in the introductory episode. So in the next episodes, at least next couple of episodes, we will see similar affirmations by such prominent and eminent scholars and thinkers of the world about Hindustan. So see you in the next episode. Thank you very much for paying attention to my words. Jai Hind.